베토벤.
Beethoven, where are you? Practice playing the piano right now.
Beethoven's dad was drunk again and was yelling at Beethoven.
Oh no, it's Dad.
Beethoven quickly sat in front of the piano and started practicing.
That's a good boy. You have to practice to become a famous musician.
Beethoven's dad was talking while he was drunk.
Beethoven, you have to become a great musician. So practice more, okay?
Yes, Dad. I'll practice more.
So Beethoven started to play the piano. Beethoven's family had a long musical tradition. Beethoven's dad was a singer at the palace, and his dad before him was a conductor for the palace orchestra. Beethoven's dad wanted Beethoven to become a famous musician, so he taught Beethoven how to play the piano at an early age. Beethoven's dad would fall asleep soon after drinking and start snoring loudly.
Mom, my arm hurts.
Beethoven stopped playing the piano and called his mother.
Oh, little Beethoven, let's go out for a walk.
His mom whispered in his ear. Beethoven's mom took little Beethoven by the hand and went to a hill next to a river.
Mom, where are those boats going?
Beethoven was feeling better and pointed out the boats to his mom.
The boats are going to big cities. When you grow bigger, you can ride on those boats and go to a bigger city where you can play for the king and the royal family. Mom, are there many great musicians in the big city? Yes, of course. You'll become a great musician too someday.
Beethoven's mom patted Beethoven on the head. Beethoven would play the piano every day.
Why aren't you playing the piano?
If Beethoven did not play the piano for just a little while, then his dad would shout at Beethoven.
Dad, my arms hurt. I want to rest.
You are such a lazy boy. How are you going to become famous?
Beethoven's dad was always yelling at Beethoven.
Don't yell at Beethoven so much. He's only 6 years old.
Beethoven's mom and dad would fight because of Beethoven's piano practice. His mom would feel sorry for Beethoven.
Be quiet! If you want to become famous, you have to practice a lot.
Beethoven's dad would not listen to his mom. When Beethoven was 11 years old, he learned the piano and how to compose music from Christian Neef. Later, Beethoven would play the organ at the church.
You played very well. It was excellent.
Neef was proud of how well Beethoven played and praised him.
That boy will become a great musician someday.
That's right. He'll become the next Mozart of our times.
Neef was sure that Beethoven would become famous. Beethoven wanted to study more about music.
Mom, I want to study music in the big city.
You're lucky to be able to play the organ at church.
No, you don't understand. Mom, I need to learn more.
Beethoven left home to study music. Beethoven looked for famous musicians to learn from them. When Beethoven turned 17 years old, his mom died. A year later, his dad passed away too. Beethoven was so sad that he didn't know how to carry on with his life. After a while, Beethoven studied music again. Many rich nobles and musicians saw Beethoven's talent and helped him become a famous musician.
Beethoven, could you teach the piano to my child?
Many people wanted Beethoven to teach their children how to play the piano. Beethoven composed wonderful music while teaching the children. When Beethoven was 28 years old, he started to lose his hearing. He had a disease that made him deaf. Beethoven wrote a will and thought about killing himself. But while he was writing his will, he changed his mind.
God would not want this to happen. While I am alive, I should compose as much great music as I can.
Beethoven began to write music again and lived with a new hope. Beethoven made great pieces of music without resting. When his music was played, people would come from all over the city to hear it.
Beethoven, your musical talent and work is great. I would like you to be the palace conductor.
The king gave Beethoven a royal title, and the rich nobles in the country gave money to Beethoven so that he could write music without worrying about it.
I have to compose more beautiful music for the people who have helped me become who I am.
So Beethoven made more excellent works while he was almost deaf. Beethoven was completely deaf at the age of 48. One day, Beethoven conducted an orchestra playing his music chorale. After the music was over, people started to applaud, but Beethoven could not hear anything. Someone had to tell Beethoven that the people were clapping their hands. Beethoven became sick and died when he was 57 years old. Beethoven's music is loved by people around the world even today.